quick tips to make your resume stand out. I'm Patty Dang, Assistant Director for Graduate Students at Student Engagement and Career Connections at USC Viterbi School of Engineering. For many of you, you probably heard the importance of good resumes, and you might have some current concerns about how to market yourself. You know, questions like how do you stand out and why might not you be getting any replies from an employer? So these are very common questions that most students are thinking about as they're kind of developing their resume. And this video's presentation will be here to guide you through the purpose of a resume, useful tips, how to use the resume and cover letter checklists, and additional resources to help you improve your resume. So the purpose of a resume is not to get you a job or internship. And the purpose really is to market yourself to employers, to provide a brief summary of your education, experiences, relevant skills that highlight your qualifications for jobs, internships, specialized programs, or positions. It's really to help you get the interview. And the interview gets you the position. So your resume should read more like a highlights or a marketing brochure of what you have to offer rather than an autobiography. The document should attract the attention of the reader and generate an interest in meeting you in person. Basically, why should they pick you? And so I've identified, a statement here a student can write that showcases and highlights them and their skill set. Here, the student has indicated that they're skilled in the use of optical and electric instrumentation related to active and passive wave guidelines needed for optical signal processing. Now, this is very, very specific, and so it really shows and highlights the student's skill set in this particular area. And these are the types of statements that you should be writing in your resume. Some other useful tips I have to offer you are, it's really critically important for you to develop a resume that displays your relevant skills and experience to respond to the needs of the position and the employer. So you don't want to use the same resume for every position you apply to. Employers want a customized resume specific to their position and their company. Remember, you're trying to stand out, so you don't want to provide a generic resume. What is it that you have to offer them specifically that helps them? You also don't want an employer to view you as unprofessional or unmotivated with spelling and grammatical errors and sloppy formatting. Employers can often translate the amount of effort you put into this document by your attention to detail and how closely you have tailored your documents to the position description or job posting. So it's best to be more organized, neat, and consistent rather than fancy fonts and trying to do so-called interesting things to it. Easy to read is the most important thing, as well as well-written communication skills. So a tailored resume with relevant content will lead an employer to recognize how you are clearly qualified and a good fit for the position and their organization. Similar to your own career and professional growth, your resume needs to reflect the new skills and experience as you accumulate more knowledge, skills, and experience. And that can come from academics, it can come from campus involvement, and it can also come in the form of internships. So we definitely want to showcase all of that in a resume. And of course, a good resume always is going to try to impress the reader with content that includes buzzwords that are industry-specific related terms and that follow the instructions provided by the employer. So when you see a resume with very similar buzzwords as on the job posting, the employer can identify that you obviously clearly understand the needs of this position and have the skill set needed for the role. And you're going to need to learn how to explain your exact actions in a resume, meaning what you actually did in your internship or your academic project. And it should include at least one of the following, which is the purpose of what you're doing, the impact or results. So I'm going to use a sample example to practice with you. So here we have a statement here written by a student. It said, develop deep learning architecture for efficient segmentation. This isn't a terrible statement, but let's think of a way to help improve it by adding a purpose, impact, or result. And so I helped the student add, what was it for? And so we changed this to developing a deep learning architecture for efficient segmentation of clinical features on OCT images using TensorFlow. So this sentence is now increased by giving more detailed information. So it paints a picture for the reader to understand exactly what the student did in this particular situation. And of course, we want you to use the resume and cover letter checklist that we provide you, so you can't miss anything from it. And you can find that checklist on the Career Success Navigator page online to download those documents at viterbigrad.usc.edu/career success. And here's a sample of what the resume checklist looks like. And you want to make sure you go through each one of these sections, go through each bullet point, and make sure that your resume covers each and every one of these sections. And of course, most of your questions can be very easily answered by using our online resources, which you can find on viterbicareers.usc.edu/toolkit/# resume tips. Once you come to this site, you can see that there's resume and cover letter writing support resources that include an action verb list, a sample cover letter, tips on writing cover letters, and access to the VMOC resume review software program. And to complete this segment as part of the Career Success Navigator preparation checklist, you must score 90% on this quiz. Keep in mind that this quiz has questions on both the Resume Tips video and the Viterbi Career Gateway video. So make sure that you watch both videos before you complete the quiz. And of course, lastly, we want to make sure that you stay connected with us. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at the information on your screen here.